I think I'm getting a life lesson that you can't get anywhere else. This place is all about being prepared and working hard. That's all we ask of ourselves, dedication and devotion to duty.
Part of the reason I came here is just for the challenge, just to do it.
Definitely, it's been challenging. Sometimes we need challenges in life.
It's hard work. If you're willing to work hard, you can accomplish anything.
The United States Air Force Academy was built in 1954 in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Its mission, to develop and inspire tomorrow's air and space leaders. The Academy offers tuition-free, one of the finest undergraduate educations anywhere, in exchange for at least 5 years of service as an Air Force officer. This is not a typical college. To go here is to undertake a demanding 4-year journey designed to do far more than educate. It is designed to transform. The journey begins on In-Processing Day in early July, when the roughly 1,200 members of the incoming class arrive to begin basic training.
Okay, stop smiling. I don't want you to smile again for 6 weeks, okay? Not a good idea.
The kind of people we're looking for to come to the Air Force Academy are the brightest and best young men and women in America. We're looking for the well-rounded individual who can excel academically, athletically, and is also able to lead.
Use this general format.
For most of them, the next 6 weeks will be unlike anything they have ever experienced. After saying goodbye to their families, they take a short ride to an entirely different world.
The bus starts pulling away and we're waving, and about 100 feet away, all of a sudden it starts.
Welcome to my United States Air Force Academy. The next 6 weeks are the toughest 6 weeks of your life. You will not make it without the person sitting next to you. You will not make it without their help. If you don't make it, you'll go home and go to a civilian college like the rest of your friends and have a good time. If you don't want to make it, don't waste our time. Do you understand?
Yes, sir!
Do all of you ladies and gentlemen ready to accept the challenge that my staff is going to put on you?
Yes, sir!
Sound off!
Yes, sir!
We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, take a deep breath and relax for a second. I'm probably going to be one of the last friendly faces you're going to see for a few weeks. Now, for the next 6 weeks, you're going to go through an experience unlike any that you've ever gone through before. That cadre out there that you're about to meet, they're professionals and they are trained. They're not here to break you. They're here to make you. And nobody can beat you or defeat you unless you allow them. Now, repeat after me this one thing. If I can take it,
I can take it.
I can make it.
I can make it.
I know I can take it.
I know I can take it.
Therefore, I will make it.
I will make it.
Their training is overseen by a select group of upper-class cadets known as cadre.
One minute you're a normal civilian, the next they're expecting you to fall in and do everything right.
Right now, I'm going to introduce you to my expert demonstrator.
Do not call
He
me
will show
sir.
you.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do not apologize. I am not your friend.
My clown, I'm not here to amuse you. Yes, sir. You understand? Yes, sir.
I think the scariest thing is not when they're actually yelling at you, but when they're yelling at the guy next to you, because you know that, oh man, he's going to come near me.
Understand? Sir, I do not know.
Your position of attention looks good because you make it look good, you know that? So why don't you do it? Fall in. You should be sweating right now. You should be falling in so hard.
Most of these young Americans who come here have never been really truly stressed, never placed in positions that they have to think on their feet, to act on their feet, to overcome obstacles, to adapt and overcome things. And that's why we put them under stress.
On that first day, they are issued a new wardrobe and given a new look. They will go from being civilians to becoming cadets.
Well, basic cadet training, which is a very intense program in which we literally transform them from being civilians into joining the military.
Good afternoon, sir. High-flying tigers.
In order to sound off, you gotta get it from down here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it doesn't take much. Move. Basic!
Yes, sir.
Didn't I just stop you for not greeting me?
Yes, sir.
So you just walked by me again?
Yes, sir.
What are you thinking?
Nothing, sir.
Is that a basic response?
No, sir.
Basic responses are so you know what to say. So you don't have to think about anything, you just do it.
I know I'm not supposed to let this get to me, but it kind of is. Well, everything I do is wrong, and then they all yell at me. They tell me to pull my chin back. It doesn't go back any farther.
It's not too bad. It's a little tiring, because it never ends.
The next morning, at exactly 5:30 a.m., they begin their first full day of cadet basic training, better known as BEAST.
My roommate and I were like, oh my God, what is happening? We thought there was something like drastically wrong.
Your wife is walking around my hallway!
It was such a shock, and I was shaking, she was shaking.
Stop looking around!
Hurry up, you're all gonna green this morning. Where's your hat? Ladies, danger, you don't have hats. You don't have red hats. You don't issued red hats. No.
I just stood there like, oh my God, what are they doing?
The second day was the worst, because you're like, it's going to be like this for the rest of a year, at least. And it's just hard to come to terms with that.
During BEAST, even the simple act of eating a meal is intended to be a challenge.
Sir, may I make a statement?
Yes!
Sir, the waiter has informed me that we're...
What's his name?
Sir, I do not know.
Correct yourself.
Sir, may I ask a question?
Sir, the waiter, Mr. Whatever, make it the name up, all right?
Yes, sir. Sir, may I make a statement?
Yes.
Sir, the waiter, Mr. Jones, has informed me that there will be no more food or drink for the remainder of this meal.
Thank you. It's the meal, not this meal.
Yes, sir.
New cadets must eat at attention, eyes forward, and swallow every mouthful after only 7 chews.
7 chews. Do not forget. I do not want to see you eating too much.
They sit and count how many chews you take. And if you take more than 7 chews, you get yelled at and they'll take away chews. They'll be like, okay, now you've only have 5 chews.
We have a standard, and we will uphold that standard. So anybody that we put through this program, if they make it through the program, they've earned it.
Put your chin in. Don't touch him. Put your shoulders up, back, and down.
We want to make sure that they can act composed and cool and remain rational when they are placed in situations of stress.
You better be put down, and you better not cry on me. You better not cry.
Yeah, let's go.
And while we may break them physically, our whole goal is to make sure that they stay together mentally. If mentally they can remain together as a team and keep a positive attitude, they will survive. I remember in basic training saying, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to make it through this, but your mind is so much stronger than anything, and that's what will get me through it. My mind and just keeping the big picture in focus, the light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how dim it might seem at times.
At least you did it. A lot of your classmates just gave up. Let's go. Let's go. The next one.
Not giving up is just so important here. That's what this place is really instilling in us, that it's truly important for us to do our jobs, that we can't throw in the towel, that little extra bit of effort can make all the difference.
Hurry up, Thompson. You have 30 seconds to go, or I'm starting you over again.
Even though some of these things may look useless or cruel, there is a very good reason. The stress of combat is fairly severe, and they need to be able to react.
Much of what they do during Beast is designed to strengthen their ability to work together as a team.
All right, you guys have 6 more minutes. You can begin now.
When you put them in this very difficult environment that's stressful both physically and mentally, they realize that they cannot do this on their own. To succeed at this place can only be done through teamwork.
You guys are going to be helping each other out. It's kind of a teamwork thing, all right?
The confidence course is a course where, like, you have to trust your classmates to get you through the things.
We have our hands like this, holding on.
You have to hold on to the platform above you, and your classmates have to flip you up there. So you have to trust them to get you all the way up there.
Good job, guys.
Somebody come down.
So you have to put a lot of trust into your classmates. And you're like, God, I hope they don't drop me.
Position, move. So closer. Smash and hold, move.
For many, the most intense and memorable challenge they'll face is called the assault course.
Back block and hold.
I'd say 90% of the basics out here have never physically exerted themselves the way they do on this course. This is many basic cadets' first experience in a simulated combat environment.
Faces in the dirt, people. This is not a rest station. Isn't that good?
The assault course, it is just hell on earth. There's explosives going off, and there's people yelling at you, and so I'm just running around doing whatever they say.
Basic cadet training teaches them the basics of military training, but it teaches them that they can do things they never thought they were capable of doing.
Are you giving that optical back rub? Hit it like you're a killer. Use the correct maneuver.
The suffering that we force them to go through produces perseverance, and that perseverance produces character. And that character will produce in them self-confidence and hope that no matter what happens, they are always able to overcome their circumstances and endure. And that's the trademark of the American soldier through history.
Get down.
This summer is unlike any other summer I've ever had, and none of my friends would ever know what it was like. It's not something you can fully understand until it actually happens to you. But so far, it's been worth it.
Forward. Forward. Park.
Acceptance Day marks the end of basic training. Those who have made it this far have earned the right to wear shoulder boards, signifying that they are now officially members of the cadet wing.
Actually making it through kind of proved to myself that I can handle whatever they throw at me. Thank you, sir.
Before, I'd been talking about, oh, I hate this place, I want to leave. Acceptance Day, I knew that I was going to stay.
Before, it was their United States Air Force Academy. However, now it is my United States Air Force Academy.
The academic year starts in late August when the upper classes return from summer training. For the outranked and outnumbered freshmen, life becomes a daunting array of restrictions and requirements. They must keep their uniforms and rooms in inspection order. They're also required every day to memorize and recite professional knowledge.
We toast our faithful comrades, now fallen from the sky, and gently caught by God's own hand, to be with him on high.
And then there's classwork. Every cadet takes 5 or 6 classes each semester, most of them required, and none of them easy. Under the leadership of former academic dean General Robert McDermott, the Academy developed one of the finest 4-year undergraduate programs in the nation.
It turns out this coefficient is only a function of the angle of attack, Reynolds number, and another one that we haven't talked about yet, Mach number.
Our academic requirements are slightly higher than a civilian institution. At a civilian institution, you would find that people would graduate at half of them, or maybe more, would take 5 years and some 6 years. We graduate all our students in 4 years. It is quite an intense program.
It is designed to give every cadet a solid grounding in engineering and the physical sciences, as well as in the social sciences and the humanities.
And when you've got a guy like Mohammed Day who spent his life studying books, reading...
If you want to produce the best rounded officer, then you're not just going to expose them to mechanics and engineering. You're going to extend their human side.
Beyond academics, the Academy also uses the classroom to shape character, to give cadets an appreciation for ethical issues they will face in their careers as officers.
I think character and leadership are both the kinds of things that are more likely to be caught than they are to be taught.
Sir, classwork ready for instruction.
Thank you. Have a seat. We're going to do case studies today.
They learn leadership by watching what we do. They learn leadership by watching each other. They learn leadership from giving them ways to look at situations.
This is a guy, a classmate that you've known for 20 years, Lieutenant Colonel. You've always known that, you know, he kind of marched to the beat of a different drummer. And maybe we're a little concerned about him. And now this tragedy has occurred. He's died on the bombing range. And you know his family, you know his wife. And the lieutenant has brought you some obscene photos that were in his personal effects. And what advice would you give him? Or Andy and then Matt?
Sir, just to step back, I mean, what happens if the wife finds out anyway? You burn the pictures, all right, so the wife finds out anyway somehow, some way.
The wife has suffered enough, in a sense, and her grief and the grief of the family is pretty substantial. And yet to try and protect her, you need to do something that at least goes against regulations and may go against your own values.
Air Force doesn't want officers who just, this is the regulation, this is what I'm going to do, no thinking, no thought, no creativity at all in it. You're not going to end up with the right results. What happens if you get in a situation where there is no regulation to cover that? What are you going to do? You have to be able to use your own judgment in certain situations.
Matt?
The biggest thing I had with this when I read it is that this guy would have no way to defend himself or to even speak for himself. And I don't think it would be fair to even bring it up.
What we really want to do is engage them in a conversation that's substantial, that's meaningful, that ties together their own experiences, what they already know, and shows them how new frameworks, new ways of looking at things can really increase their effectiveness, can increase their perception.
Another aspect of character training is the honor code, which states that a cadet does not lie, cheat, or steal, nor tolerate anyone who does. It is designed to hold cadets to a standard where little things matter.
Although we get some of the best young people that America has to offer at the Air Force Academy, they come out of a high school environment where many things are tolerated, as far as lying and cheating, things that are totally unacceptable as a leader in the Air Force.
As a freshman, Cadet Kelly Marshall had to take a weekly self-graded knowledge test.
What I would do is take the knowledge tests and be sure I had enough right to stay out of trouble. If it meant going back and just correcting a little number to make sure the answer was right, I'd do that. If it meant scratching out the entire answer and putting in something else, I'd do that. One night I'm laying in bed, it just sort of hits me, oh, gosh, this is wrong. This is just wrong. I should not be doing this.
Kelly turned herself in for committing an honor violation. She was tried before an honor board, found guilty, and given 6 months probation.
And I had that 6 months to prove to myself and to the rest of the wing that I was in fact worthy to remain a cadet here.
What was the honor board like? What did they go through?
Let's just say that I think I'd rather give childbirth than go through another honor board, okay?
As part of her probation, she was assigned the job of teaching other cadets about the honor code.
You guys are going to be tempted to cheat, lie, steal, all that stuff. It's okay to be tempted. It's completely normal. Just don't act on it. I screwed up. Learn from me, okay? This is just my chance to give back to the wing. You know, they let me stay. And I think I owe it to them to take what I've learned and to share it with others.
The service academies are in the business of producing leaders for America and for their services, leaders with character. We can probably get better engineers from MIT, and probably better chemists and physicists from Princeton. But I don't think we should be able to get better leaders with character from another institution.
Every cadet is in training to be an Air Force officer. To give them hands-on experience, each will be assigned over their 4 years to numerous leadership positions within the cadet wing chain of command.
We only get 4 years to go through what we think is a leadership laboratory. Certainly, at the minute that you finish your first year at the academy and you become an upperclassman, you are giving leadership responsibility to bring the next class along.
Okay, when did you iron your shirt?
Sir, I ironed my shirt last night.
Okay, that's probably just from wearing it. You got a little wrinkle here.
What is this mirror? That's disgusting.
Crozier, did you bother to clean your mirror this morning?
No, ma'am. Oh, it shows.
On a day-to-day basis, it really shows that you have discipline if you can get up and make sure that everything is just, spotless. And it kind of shows that you can pay attention to detail, which I think is important as an Air Force officer.
The Academy endeavors to train the whole person, not only the mind, but the body as well. Here, physical fitness is a major part of daily life. In addition to required physical education classes, all cadets have a sports requirement. For roughly 2 hours every afternoon, they must participate in some form of athletic competition, either on an intramural, club, or intercollegiate team. Twice a year, every cadet is also required to take and pass a rigorous physical fitness test. The fitness test consists of 5 events. Each event has a minimum score that every cadet has to meet or exceed. In addition, they must achieve an overall score of at least 250 points. A score of 300 is considered average.
I'm going to try to score between 400 and 450.
First station.
First station. Okay. All right, here we go.
1, 2. 1, 2, go. 1.
All the way down.
All the way down. 3, 4. 5.
Watch
all the way down.
All the way down.
Come on, 3 more.
Jump over the bar.
Nice down there. Come on, Seth. 2 more for the match. Come on. 20. 1 more.
Come on, Seth. Get up, Seth.
Good
Come on,
job. Good
Seth.
job.
Good job.
I get it?
Yeah. He maxed this one.
I think if all goes as planned, I'll max the next 2 and take it easy on the run.
77, 78, 76, 79, 77. Okay, you got 11 more.
Oh, we have me on tape, Sore. 55. I need to use that one. 57, 58. Good job. 59. I know you can do 10 more. Let's go.
Runners set, go!
$365. Hey, let's go.
Awesome. Perfect, exactly what I wanted.
Beyond their considerable required activities, many cadets make time to do things that aren't required.
Well, the Academy sets up a program, and they ask for soccer coaches just to come into the Springs and work with the kids. It was just nice to have something else to do to kind of take the focus off of being a cadet and being a student, and just do something else to help out somebody else.
The gospel choir has been a huge part of my life the entire 4 years that I've been here. I love to sing. I'm not the best singer in the world by any stretch of the imagination. And I think song is a wonderful way to express yourself, to express what's in your heart, what's in your mind, and what you're feeling.
For every talent and personality, there is an extracurricular activity. From the gospel choir to the Wings of Blue.
I've done a lot of activities, from snow skiing, water skiing, everything that you can do I've done, and nothing beats skydiving. Even now, I've done it, 550 times, and I like to think I'm good at it, but you can still feel your heart race. It goes up to about 200 beats per minute. It means nothing but pure fun.
Kind of mob up over in this area right here.
Unlike a civilian college, the Air Force Academy goes all year round, and summer is for getting out of the classroom and into the action. All Air Force sophomores go through a summer program called CST, Combat Survival Training.
We're looking at between 60 and 70% of these folks are going to graduate from this institution and do some sort of aircrew job. And because of that fact, chances of them being in a combat environment and finding themselves jumping out, bailing out, ejecting out of an aircraft, or finding themselves on the ground, evading from the enemy, are substantially high.
All right, you keep your feet out straight in front of you. I'm going to slide you on your butt. Don't try and stand up. Don't do anything until I tell you. You ready?
During CST, they'll learn everything from water rescue techniques to procedures for guiding search aircraft to their position.
I'm on the 095 radial off of Bullseye 1, approximately 2.5 clicks. We'll be 10 meters off my...
The fact of the matter is, airplanes do get shot down, and that's what we are preparing these folks for.
And you just need to get out of there quick, but you want to save your whole chute. You can do this, you just keep folding the sides in.
And you can see, like, no matter how tight you pull on that knot, it's not going to slip.
Next two, away from your body. 45-degree angle. Go for it.
They learn how to pack a pack. They learn how to sharpen a knife. They learn how to improvise equipment out of a parachute harness.
That'll hold like all your stuff, your sleeping bag, your extra socks.
This holds everything?
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to really pack it compactly.
Yeah.
You're faced with pretty much everything you never want to be faced with.
As you can see, it makes a very good tender, man-made tender.
We learn how to build fires, what plants we can and cannot eat.
That's around before you get scratchy. Smell it.
Anybody want onion?
I mean, it makes you realize what you're doing here. You're not just at school, you're in the military. You know that it's serious business.
Shine it right on the tips of your fingers, then use it as a sight. Move the mirror with your fingers and try to find what you're trying to shoot at, all right?
Their final week, they spend surviving on their own with minimal food and shelters improvised out of parachutes and ponchos.
A lot of times you're not going to be able to build something like that back there, but you know you're going to have this, and this is going to give you protection from rain and, sunlight. It's very camouflaged, it's very small, and it's something you probably want to use during an invasion situation.
We're going to be sleeping on the ground, basically, with sleeping bags we have to carry around and make shelters to keep the rain out and eat whatever we can find, I guess. Grasshoppers and ants, I don't know.
For their final test, cadets must cross a 3-mile course while evading the enemy. The area is thick with simulated gunfire and mock enemy forces trying to hunt them down.
Anybody can go hide in the woods, but hiding in the woods without getting caught is a different aspect of that.
They'll give you a point that you need to reach by the next morning. They give you the window that you need to get there by. They release you, and in your small groups, you get around and you have to be evading. It's just pretty much what you learn in the first 2 weeks that's going to get you through it.
I would say the majority of them probably move fairly quickly and find themselves a hole up sight until the sun actually goes down, so they have the cover of darkness, which aids them a little bit.
You're cold, you're hungry, you're cranky, and you don't have too much to keep you going.
Even though they're only moving 4 kilometers, it's very slow, it's very deliberate, it's very taxing. They're getting up, they're getting down. They have to maintain their concealment because there are people out there looking for them.
It's a nightmare. You don't want to be there, but that's the way it's going to be in combat. That's the way you're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to just keep pushing through that stuff and just keep yourself motivated and try to keep those others around you motivated.
Another summer program at the Academy is Soaring, which offers many cadets their first opportunity to fly.
Can we go ahead and take this?
The whole entire program is run by cadets. They're the instructors, and they run operations on a day-to-day basis down at the airfield. You're going to start from the beginning. You're going to do takeoff. Probably one of the biggest things is just relax. I'm right there. I'll definitely take the plane before, you know, anything gets dangerous. We teach them how to fly a two-seat glider. The instructor pilot sits in the back seat and the student sits in the front seat. There's identical controls in the front and back. I weigh 170.
Okay, I weigh 116.
Okay. So are we in limits?
My stomach was just all over the place. I remember thinking there was just a lot to remember, and I didn't want to mess it up and get it out of order.
Usually I try to say something funny. I make jokes or get them to calm down. And remember the 3 phases of takeoff? Relax, and I'm right here.
All right. So
go ahead and wag your rudders when you're ready. There you go. And we're off.
Okay.
We're having fun. Okay, a little high, forward stick, forward stick. A lot of them get a death grip on the stick and it causes them to fly real jerky. A little bit, little bit, little bit. Stay right behind them. And just tell them that, you know, be gentle with it. My plane, my plane. Okay, my plane, my plane, my
I kept thinking to myself, man, this is nothing like the video games. This is a lot harder in real life. But then once we got up there, I remember thinking, wow, it's just beautiful.
Kind of this way.
The hardest part was the aerotow, the first part, just being pulled by another plane.
Any turbulence in the area, if you see them, you know, bump up and down, you know, you figure, count to 2 seconds, we're gonna hit it.
If you're too hard on the controls, you'll fly all over the place. And it's hard to remember that when someone else is pulling, you have to be more gentle. And then once they let go of you, you have to take control again. And that was the biggest thing that worried me. There's no engine, oh my gosh. The most noticeable thing is how quiet it is. You hear the little bit of wind outside, but it's just silent. To be able to look off and see the stadium and everything, it was an awesome sight.
One of the easier maneuvers to do is a nose-high stall. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate one of those for you. As you go along, you use less and less of you flying and more of them flying, and it gets to the point where you can just verbally tell them what they need to do, and then they can fly the plane. Right. You see this? Flying at 60. You think you can hold this? No. Just try. You have the aircraft. Keep your hand on the spoilers. Keep right rudder, right rudder, right rudder. Keep the stick forward. Stick forward.
They make you feel really comfortable while you're up there, so it's an enjoyable experience.
Power, like this. Slowly stop it.
All my friends back home thought it was just amazing that, you know, I had this opportunity to be in control of all of this. It was fun.
Another cadet-run summer program is jump training.
Coming back from summer leave, I flew back from Denver. And I remember looking out the window and thinking how awesome that would be to jump out of a plane that high. But then again, you're behind the safety of a double pane glass window and you don't realize how high you actually are. They showed us a video about things going wrong as far as canopy control. They tried to scare us on purpose. They just wanted us to know that this is actually jumping out of a plane, and it isn't like walking down to the corner store to get a jug of milk or something. I took jump in particular because I wanted to challenge. I knew it wasn't going to be something that was easy. Jumping out of a plane is an experience that's just foreign to anybody, pretty much contrary to everything they teach you about saving your own life.
From the second arch 1,000, stand by, stand on the door, go.
Arch 1,000, blue 1,000, blue 1,000, check 1,000.
Okay, recover.
We probably did 100 of those a day, and the training was definitely a lot more physical and a lot more mentally challenging than I expected.
Check out suit.
3,500 feet.
Release brakes. Check
And
straight.
your right brake won't release. It's stuck up there. What do you do?
They tried to make us screw up just so that we'd be better at not screwing up later on.
I have a stuck rip
You have a hard pull.
I have a hard pull. Pull 1,000. Pull 1,000.
I don't know how civilian jump schools are able to do that kind of stuff. I'm sure it must take a little bit longer because the people that they have go up probably aren't as used to the stress as military cadets.
Pull it out of my hands. I want to see you forcing at it. You're going to be pulling with all your might up there, aren't you?
Yep.
Do the same thing down here.
Yeah.
After 5 days of training, it's time for their first jump.
I was feeling pretty stressed out, a little bit nervous, or greatly nervous, I should say.
Drugs, medication, and alcohol, no. Sharp objects or jewelry, no. Video and grade card, yes.
You don't get to notice everything because you're just so concentrated on saving your own life by pulling that ripcord. I think the plane ride up was probably the worst part of the whole jump. You're all sweating there. You're all trying to keep each other confident that you know what you're doing and that everything's going to be fine.
Nervous now? No, not yet. When it gets up around there, I will be.
We jump out from about 4,500 feet above ground. When that wind is in your face and it's blowing, it's pretty cold up there. You look down and you're thinking, wow.
The Air Force Academy has one of the few jump schools in the nation where trainees free fall on their first jump.
We were 8th to go up, and I was, I think, number 5 to jump. Perfectly good airplane, and I jump out of it. Drifting down in the chute was just, that was just awesome. That was probably the most peaceful time I can remember. Fear is a thing that has to be taken care of. You can't always go right through it, but in this career you have to find a way to go around it, and that's what jump helped me to do.
This is an extremely intense 4-year experience. No one who has been through it will tell you it was easy, but they will all tell you that it changed them forever.
I never knew that I could have done so much. And so that was probably one of the best things, is just learning how much I can really do and how much you can do if you push yourself.
Coming into the Air Force Academy turned out to be a lot more than I think I expected coming in. Here I was thrust into a lot more responsibility than I ever expected to be. As a senior, I'm responsible for more people and more assets and resources than I ever, guessed I would be at the age of 21.
The one thing this place does for you is it makes you a lot more confident. I probably wasn't as confident as I could have been in high school, but now I know exactly what I want to do, and there's no one that can stop me from doing it.
4 years culminates on a single day in May, graduation. Of all those who entered, 71% have made it to the end. This day is for them.
It's just amazing. All the parents are here and they're so happy to see us, and then, we're almost there.
I'm really excited about getting into what I consider real life. Now you're an officer. The opportunity is so great. I've never second-guessed my choice to come here.
I think there'll be a lot of being proud of, but also reflection on understanding that it wasn't me that's made it through these 4 years, that if, without God holding me and helping me and even getting me to this point to begin with, that there's no way I could stand there on that day.
Dino William DeBacco. Michael James DeVille.
I can say that this is the best thing that I ever could have done with the last 4 years of my life.
Caroline Ann Bong.
It is definitely gratifying to be graduating and to have done well here, but it's still, I think I'm going to miss it now. I never would have thought I would have said that.
Will you please raise your right hand and signify your acceptance of the oath of office by saying,
After receiving their diplomas, every graduate takes an oath of office. For 4 incredibly demanding years, they have prepared for this moment, the end of one journey and the beginning of another. They have ceased to be cadets. Now, they are officers.
Class of 1998, you are dismissed!